All right. Well, I guess we are ready to start. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ian, Valentina. Hello, Brian. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Ulas. Hello for everybody, to everybody who has taken time from their evening to join me here today and learn how to implement a list building funnel using WordPress and Thrive Themes. Just one quick note: if you have any question anytime during the presentation, just type it into the chat window, and I will try to answer during the presentation. And at the end, if we still have some questions, I'll stay as long as needed to give answers to all your questions. So for those of you who don't know me, I'll just quickly tell you who I am and why you want to listen to me. So my name is Michele Castillo. I'm a woman geek. Imagine that when I was in high school, my favorite class was Pneumatic Automation Lab. Most of you have probably never heard about that thing, but that's what I liked, and I still do like automation. Later on, I graduated with Master's in Mechanical Engineering, and for 15 years I worked for a company that creates software that is used by mechanical engineers to design manufacturing lines, mostly with the car industry. I was really lucky. I worked and lived in Japan, France, and the United States. 14 years ago, we as a family moved to Vancouver in British Columbia, and just because it's such a great place. And at that time, you probably know, they don't make any cars in Vancouver. And so I have I made a career change. To begin with, I worked in TELUS for 2 years, and then they outsourced our entire team, not the actual people, but what we did, to India, and I found myself with no job. So I decided to be a real estate investor and did all kind of weird marketing things, including putting signs on electrical poles that say "We buy houses." And then I put my first website, which was for my real estate investment business, and that is about where my current business started. Today, I am the president and CEO of Spot On Digital Marketing. It's a digital marketing agency. We are in Vancouver. We are maybe a full-service digital marketing agency, but there is so many things one can do that we, at the end of the day, we focus on helping small businesses develop websites, search engine optimization, marketing automation, membership website, and so on. We are also partners with Google and with Infusionsoft, which is CRM and marketing automation software. So let's dive into our presentation. Our goal today is, maybe I go a little bit back, and few weeks ago, or few months ago, I offered my contacts to review their website and give them some feedbacks and ideas of how they can improve their website. And one thing that I have seen across the board is that very few businesses had a lead capture mechanism on their website that was effective. And that brought me back to how, in my opinion, it is really important that every business has a lead capture and to build an email list and to build relationship with prospect leads that will eventually become clients. And so the goal today is to walk you through the process of establishing a lead capture mechanism or a list building funnel. This is almost the same thing. And we are gonna focus mostly on the technical aspect, but also on other aspects that I find people get stuck on, because there are few areas where business owners that are not technical or not marketing expert get stuck. And I want you to break through those barriers and be able to put your list building funnel in place. So here's a statement in regards to email marketing. I hope you agree with me, otherwise you may not be here today. So email marketing is still the most effective way to convert leads into clients and to get more business from your existing clients. And every day that your website is live without a way to capture people's emails, you are losing money. We're not gonna go into that any further. Let's agree that this is correct. So this is how a list building funnel looks typically. There is an opt-in form that appears either on your homepage or a dedicated landing page, or maybe it's an opt-in form that opens when people try to leave your website or when they arrive to your website. Whatever it is basically a form that people enter their name, their email address. Sometimes you can ask for a phone number. And once they do, two things happen. One is that they are redirected to a thank you page. So at least if the funnel is built correctly, they're redirecting to a thank you page. And the other one is that their email and name or any other information that they entered goes into a database, which is typically in a CRM or email marketing system. At that point, an email is being sent automatically to the email address that was given, delivering, typically it doesn't have to be that way, but that's a common way to do that, giving them a link to a web page where they can download or get in one way or another a gift that you offer them. I kind of forgot that, but they will usually opt in order to get something that is called a lead magnet or a freebie, a free gift, an irresistible free offer. We're going to go into what this is in a minute. And then in a good funnel, the email that delivers the gift is not the last email. There are emails that follow that, an introduction email that introduces you to this new contact so that you start building relationship with this new contact, and few more emails. Again, we're gonna look into some ideas of what can be done there and some common mistakes too. So let's look at an example. This is a client of mine. He is a marketing expert, so he's doing things very, very smartly. This is his homepage as of today. We are going to change it very soon, but it's working pretty well right now. And the first thing that people see when they come to his website is an offer for a template. He sends them, I believe it's a presentation template that is maybe PowerPoint that they can use to do presentations that will help them increase their sales in just 5 minutes. So when people click on the yes, I want more clients, they see this opt-in form that tells them a little bit more about what's going to happen. And then they have to put their name and email address and click, yes, I want more sales. It could be not, yes, I want more sales, but in this case, he put, yes, I want more sales because it goes together with what he's offering. Once they click on the button, they're redirected to this thank you page. And the thank you page already promotes a product that he sells. So he has this book that he wants to promote, and people can see that there is a link, and it says, sorry, that the link to the template will be in your inbox within the next 5 minutes. So always, it doesn't say go right now to your mailbox, but take 5 minutes. It might take a little bit of time. And meanwhile, you can check my book. And if people further down this page, there is a link to the book sales page. And he actually takes it from there. So if people buy his book, he offers them another online training that he sells. And when they buy that, he offers them yet another product that he sells. But the minimum is that there is a thank you page that introduces you or a product that you sell, or whatever the next step you want it to be. So, and then when people go to their mailbox and open the email, this is how long the email is. So it's so long I couldn't put it in one slide, so I had to fold it. And there is few components to this email. He tells them that they're gonna, what to expect basically, that they're gonna get a daily newsletter every morning, that he tells them how to whitelist his emails so that they make sure that his emails do not go into the junk mailbox. And finally, he tells them you have to click here to actually get this gift that I have promised you. And again, he is promoting his book. So if you've ever seen those reviews that I told you about, I have those websites that did have a lead capture mechanism, usually had an email that had at the max 20 words in them. And this is one mistake that a lot of businesses do. They forget to start doing the work of building relationships, which is the main goal of having an email list, is to develop a relationship and conversation with prospects with the intention that they will eventually turn into clients. So let's talk about your funnel. So these are the main components of a list building funnel. The most important one is the lead magnet. We're going to go into what this can be and what yours could be in a minute. Without a lead magnet, it won't work. And sign up to my newsletter is rarely, if you are not an authority figure that is well known, usually sign up to my newsletter is not something that's going to make it. So we need something more attractive. Then we need to have the lead capture system that actually captures the email and names. We need a thank you page. We need an email marketing system into which we're going to push all the list and also maintain the emails there. And finally, we want a follow-up email series, which I have just talked about. So going forward in this presentation, from here going forward, we're going to talk just very little bit about the what you have to write, what is the copy, or any information of that nature. But I want to give you a pointer to a resource that I've also used a little bit in this presentation that you can actually access for free for 30 days. And this is the Digital Marketer Lab. It is a membership program that is offered by a company called Digital Marketer. And they have in the lowest level, they have three different levels. The lowest level is called Lab. They have a collection of what they call execution plans. And they have some execution plans. So there's about 30 of them, but the execution plans that I really recommend you look into is, first there is how to create your first lead magnet. And then there is the 10-point, they call it indoctrination email checklist. I would rather call it introduction email checklist. And then they have a 21-day launch plan that includes a lot of conversation about what your lead magnet should be, how your landing pages should look like, and so on. So If you want to dive into the actual what, I recommend you take a look. You can go to this link. This is spotondigitalmarketing.com/lab. It will take you there. I am also a member, and I'm also an affiliate with them, just that you know. If you click and you become a member and pay them $1, I get 30 cents. If you pay them more, then I get that. So just that you know, I'm a big fan. I wouldn't recommend you something that I don't believe in myself. So just before I continue, I have a question here from Jenna. She's asking, when capturing emails, how much segmenting information is useful to gather, and what type of segmentation, I believe, info is suggested? That's a very good question. Typically, you don't want to ask too many questions, because the more questions you ask, the less likely people are going to provide you the information and opt in. So at the beginning, just ask for a name and email. You can create more than one lead magnet. Then if you have, for example, I have about 10 of them. So I do create the information in the database of which lead magnet they have downloaded. So this is segmentation. But if you look at HubSpot, for example, their lead generation, before you can download a lead magnet, you have to fill a form that has at least 10 fields. So it really depends on your market and how, if you get a lot of opt-ins, you can allow yourself to add more questions. You may get less leads, but they will be of higher quality, because if someone took the time to put all this information into the form, then they're more likely to work with you. So you have to play with it. I think that to begin with, email and name is enough. You can also further down the road send quizzes and questions to your list and segment them later. I hope I answered your question. So, okay. So let's talk about lead magnets. So this is a little bit of how, but it's so important that I thought I'll give it a few minutes so that to make sure that you actually have a lead magnet that makes sense. So for those of you who do not know what lead magnet is, the definition I found somewhere a few years ago is a lead magnet is an irresistible bribe that gives a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for their contact information. So there is a lot of lead magnets out there that are, oh no, I'm not going to say that way. There are a few traits that a lead magnet needs to have in order for it to be effective. And it is really important that it speaks to a very specific problem or a desired end result. It has to be really in congruency with what you actually offer. Good lead magnets make a very specific promise, or give a specific example, or offer a specific shortcut, or answer a specific question, or deliver a specific discount. Specificity is very important. So here's an example. This is a free PDF report that tells people how to grow enough food to feed a family of 4 in just 4 square feet of space, even if you don't have a yard. So this really defines very well who this is for. And the same PDF report was previously named Growing Up, the Ins and Outs of Up and Down Gardening. Very cool name, very few people opted in. As soon as they changed the description, they started having tons of traction, and this website is actually owned by Digital Marketer from the 2 slides ago, and they have made a lot of money with this business by capturing the leads that way. Here's another example that I have shown hundreds of times by now, I think. And this is from a guy that you might have heard his name. His name is Eben Pagan. He started his information product career as someone under a different name, Michael D'Angelo or David D'Angelo. Now I don't remember, but he was giving dating advice for men, and this was his lead magnet. You are about to learn secrets that most men will never know about women. And he promised the kiss test, how to tell if she's ready to be kissed. So specific. It's hard to imagine a man who is looking for dating advice that doesn't want the answer to this question. And the answer for the whole wonderful list here was just 2 pages. So people put their name and email, they click free instant access, and they see this information. 2 pages of information, but so specific and so to the point that he made millions of dollars from that list. And it all started with this pretty ugly landing page. Okay. Here are a few more examples of lead magnets that are a little bit in a different, not the information product domain. This one is, this is my favorite. It's a company that does HVAC. They are in BC, in the Kootenays. And once a year, they offer, I think maybe twice a year actually, but the furnace, they do a furnace giveaway. And they invest a couple of thousands of dollars, maybe even less, because last week I talked to the guy who does their marketing, and he said that they go back to the manufacturers and ask for a deal on a furnace. Then they have their own staff that will actually install it. So you're talking about just a couple of $1,000 investment, and they end up with a list of people that nobody will opt into a furnace giveaway if they don't have a home and they don't need a furnace. So now that they have, they probably have the list of everybody in town, and they can market them and send them promotional emails with the seasons. For example, oh, it's time to clean your furnace, or do you need air conditioning, or any promotion along that line, knowing that they're sending to the very exact crowd that needs to hear them. So it's very important. Unlike if I've seen many giveaway campaigns where a company offers, let's say, a free some kind of a digital gadget or a free iPhone. So they end up with a list of people who want an iPhone, not necessarily people who want their services. So again, congruency is the key. And this is another example. If you sell something, if you have some kind of consumer product, you can always offer or service. If you do home service business, you have a home service business, you can offer a discount to the products that you sell. And this is a great way to capture leads who would say no to 10% off if they really want these products. So hope that this makes sense. This is, again, it's one of the places that business owners do get stuck. So here are a few ideas of what lead magnets you can consider. Of course, a report or a guide, a toolkit, resource list. If you have some software, you can offer a free download or a trial. Quizzes are very popular right now. People like quizzes. It's a little bit of a game, and they want to find out more about themselves by doing some quiz. Cheat sheets, video training, discounts, assessment tests, and so on. So Hopefully this helps you understand or come up with ideas for your own lead magnet. So let's talk about implementing your funnel. So step one, we actually have already talked about step one, which is deciding what the lead magnet should be. And step two, it doesn't have to be step two, but I have just chosen this to be step two, is to set up the email marketing system. And I have chosen for this presentation to use a software that is called ActiveCampaign. Although I am actually a certified partner with Infusionsoft, we use both of them. But ActiveCampaign is a great starting point for a lot of businesses. If you have no list at all and you're just starting up, if you pay for the entire year upfront, you have to pay only $9 US per month. So this is that's a very attractive offer, and a lot of people like me, that's where they send their clients when they're just starting. So I thought I'll use ActiveCampaign as an example. So at that point, I hope that I will be able to share with you the screen, and I'm going to actually go into an ActiveCampaign account that I've created. They offer 14 days free trial. So I have created myself a free trial with ActiveCampaign, and I want to show you inside ActiveCampaign what needs to be done. So, and a lot of it is very typical to other systems too. So So we always start with a list. That's the way that ActiveCampaign organizes contacts. And list is a pretty high level kind of organization unit. So I don't recommend creating lists for if you have like 3 different lead magnets. I don't recommend you create 3 different lists. I will soon show you how to segment your contacts into a more detailed level. And the list usually requires some information such as where do people opt in from, and you also have to tell them why you're receiving these emails. And I am not sure why they have it. I've seen it in other email marketing systems, but they don't really add that to the emails. So maybe this is an old requirement that they need, but you will not be able to create your list if you don't put this information there. Don't worry too much, but again, they don't really add it to the emails. Another thing that is very important is to add, I don't think it's the list level. They need your mailing, physical mailing address. The physical mailing address is a must. It is added to every email that goes out. It is a law. It's the anti-spam laws that require you have a mailing address on each email that goes out. So we have created a list, and then want to show you their way that they manage contact. So ActiveCampaign, as well as many other advanced email marketing and marketing automation systems, use tags. Tags are a little bit like sticky notes that you put on the contact. So they can use for a lot of different things, whatever you want, basically. And they can be used also to start the sending of an email series that we will soon see how this is done. I really recommend that you give some thought to organizing your tags before starting to just create random names when you build your marketing campaigns. Because, and I've done that mistake myself, you just get to a point, oh, you need a tag, you just type in something, and very soon you find yourself with a pile of tags that are very hard to manage. So one suggestion is to add to every tag some kind of a prefix that indicates what it is being used for. And so I've already created a few tags here, and they are trigger tags that actually trigger automations. That's the way they're called in ActiveCampaign. It's basically, automation can be many things, but if you know what autoresponders are, automation can be autoresponder. It can be a lot of other things too. History is our tags that, again, this is just a suggestion. You can do whatever you want, but my suggestion is you create a history category where you can keep information about what a certain contact has done, or what they have received already. So for example, and I will show you in the automation I create how I use it. But here I keep the requested, the list build funnel checklist. So this is just an example lead magnet. And every time someone requests that, I put a tag on them. And so in the future, it's a type of segmentation in a way. So in the future, I can use this tag to send them additional information, or maybe not send them additional information, and so on. And triggered tag I use to start automation. I think I've said that already. So let's go to the automation part of ActiveCampaign. And I will start a completely new one to show you how it works. So here I am, I'm clicking on Create Automation. You will see here a long list of different automations that they already have a template that you can install right away. This is a bit tricky because some of these templates use features that requires higher level plans with ActiveCampaign. And so you can end up either not being able to use the template, or they tell you, hey, you have to pay more in order to use that. So I would just start from scratch. And every automation needs at least one trigger. So there is a lot of options for triggers, as you can see. One of them is subscribes to a list. So we could trigger this campaign or this automation when people are added to the list, or maybe when people unsubscribe from the list. There's a whole list of options. I will use the tag is added. And remember, I had this trigger tag, so I am adding it here. Now, there is the how many times this campaign can run, and I always will, for a lead magnet, you can always put it on multiple times, because if you have a lead magnet on your website for a few years, you will find that some people, they might have downloaded your lead magnet 2 years ago and they lost it. They'll come again and ask for it again. You don't want them not to get it when they come again, if they're already in your database. So you just set it to be multiple times. And then they automatically actually show you what you can do next, but you don't have to. You can close it, and you can either click here on the plus button and add more actions, or you can drag and drop on the right. The first thing that I will do is actually, I will remove this trigger tag. And why is that? Because the automation is triggered when this tag is applied. So the same situation, if this tag has been applied and someone asks for the same lead magnet again, if the tag is already there, then they're not going to go into this automation. So I'm removing it, and if they come again in 6 months from now, the campaign will be triggered again. And I don't know about other email marketing systems and CRMs, but it's exactly the same with Infusionsoft. You always need to remove a trigger so that it can be applied again. And then the next step is, finally, let's send an email. So you can send an email. I'm not going to create an email right now. I'm going to go back to the automation that I've already created. So to save us some time. So This is the very same structure, although I'm sending an email here and then removing the tag. So this is the one thing that is a bit weird with ActiveCampaign. You have to click and then edit. So I'm using here, this is just for example, I'm using a template that comes from the Digital Marketer Lab, which is really, that's why I really suggest you go there. If you don't know what you write, to write in your first email, then they have templates and ideas and great explanation of what you want to write on this first page. Pretty long. And of course, there is the download link too. So let me exit that. Then the next step is, so here, and it follows the same template. You wait one day and then you create, you send another email, and you can wait one more day and send another email. You can, from here on, I really recommend that you create a campaign at least with 3 emails. And this is also a great way to feature content that you might have written a while ago. Maybe you wrote it a year ago. Maybe you wrote a great blog post, and if you blog regularly, your blog post that was so great a year ago, nobody gets to it. So you can feature your best content in this follow-up email series, and this is a great way to you don't have to think again what to send. And also, you know, a lot of businesses think, oh, I have to send a newsletter every month, and it's a lot of work. And what happens is they start sending newsletters, they do it 1, 2, 3 months, and then they get stuck, they get busy, and they don't send anything. And if you create a follow-up series like that, you can wait for 7 days so that it's not, you spread out your content a little bit, but that way your best content will be sent to anybody that joins your list, and you don't have to, 1, worry what to send them, and 2, that they will not see stuff that you are really proud of. So it will help you overcome this obstacle of not knowing what to write. So yeah, so this is about ActiveCampaign. And now the next step is to actually have an opt-in form on your website. So I have a demo WordPress website installed, and we will use that. I am using Thrive Leads tools. So if you are familiar with WordPress, which I hope most of you are, I have used plugins that are provided with Thrive Themes. One of them is called Thrive Architect, which is the actual editor. We will see it in a minute. And the other one is called Thrive Leads, which is the tool that helps us create the opt-in forms, as well as allows us to integrate with ActiveCampaign or many other CRM systems. So before I dig into creating the actual opt-in, I will show you here. So this is very specific, of course, but it's a great tool that I really love because it's so easy to use. There are many other tools to create those opt-in forms. So if you go here under Thrive Dashboard, they have, where is it? API connection tab here, and I will click on the Manage Connection, and I can add a new connection. And this is what provides me the interface to establish the integration between the WordPress website and the CRM or email marketing system. So as you can see, the list is long, which is great. There is all the email marketing systems that you might have heard of. They also have other integration, which we're not gonna dig into right now. So let's find our ActiveCampaign. And here they will, very typical, they want you to provide information so that the connection is established. In ActiveCampaign, this will be under settings. I hope I remember. And yeah, and under developer, they simply have this URL. We have to just copy it, oops, and put it here. And the key, copy, and put it here. And then we just connect, and the connection is ready, which we will use in a minute when we create our opt-in mechanism. So next, let me go to the Thrive Leads dashboard. So the Thrive Leads is a tool that provides you a lot of ways to create many different types of opt-in forms. I will show you today sorry, I've created something before which I will delete. One feature which they called lead groups. So we call it test. And so what is a lead group? It's basically a group of various opt-in forms that you can use together. So the types that are available, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of these types used on different websites, is Lightbox. This is the form that pops up above the website whenever you tell it to. You can add inside content in the footer of blog post, at the top or bottom of the website as a ribbon, on the sidebar as a widget, and there's a few more options here. So I want to start with a ribbon because it's very easy to demonstrate. They provide you with a mechanism to say exactly where on the website you want to show this. So you could show different opt-in forms on different pages. To simplify things right now, I'm going to just say that I want it to be everywhere. And then let me create the form so for the ribbon, I will create a form, call it ribbon, and let me edit this. So this is where you edit the design. So this, what we're gonna see now is why I need this Thrive Architect, which I have installed on the site too. We're not gonna get too much into Thrive Architect, but I do have a video that talks about Thrive Architect that explains more about it. If you want to check out my website, there is a blog post that actually embeds a YouTube video that shows this, the Thrive Architect. So they have a lot of templates that you can use. Of course, hardly ever the template is exactly what you need, but I'm just gonna pick up one to show you. This is a pretty one, which I like. So this one actually, they call it a two-step opt-in system. So we have the ribbon that I'll show you soon how it shows up on the site. But they also have a Lightbox that goes with it. So people will see the ribbon, and when they click on the claim your spot, they will see the Lightbox, which will allow them to put the name and an email and submit. Now, all that, once you choose a template, you can customize it 100%. So, so this is the Thrive Architect functionality. I can, I can, for example, customize this button here and change the color. No, that's not a good color. That's not a great color either, but I can customize it just to show you. So I'm gonna deploy this website. I can change the text. This is just an image that I can replace. And then the more important aspect for us at the moment is the actual opt-in. So, well, they have a video here. Of course, this is just a demo video, but I want to talk about this part. And this is what do they call? They call it lead generation object, I believe. And something is, oh, okay. So the first thing I have to do is I have to connect to a service. Now, since we have the ActiveCampaign connection established, I click the ActiveCampaign here, and now it will, it already has the list of mailing lists that I have in ActiveCampaign. We have only one, so it shows only one. And we're going to ignore that choose the form you want to use. It's not something that you really need. And then I am going to add the tag that I have defined. So remember my tag. I don't trust my spelling talents. I'm just gonna copy it. So I'm gonna copy that, and oops, where was that? I'm going to put this tag here. So what's gonna happen is if someone opts in, they are going to be added to this list, and the tag trigger follow-up list build funnel checklist request is going to be added, and this is going to trigger this automation that we have just created. Next step is to define what fields we want. So you can say that you can actually say which fields are optional and which one are required. So the default is that the email is required. You can't do anything without an email. And you can choose to say if the name is required or not. You can also add one field in this case, which is the phone number. That's right now, if you use this way with the Thrive leads, these are the only three fields that you can add. There are other ways to implement that, but it's not a basic list building funnel functionality, so we're not gonna go into it. We don't have enough time for that. So the next step, remember we talked about the thank you page. So they have different options of what will happen after people opt in. The worst one is probably reload page. People really get confused when that happened. The switch state, it will, I'm not sure why they have it there. The switch state will actually allow you to open yet another form. So maybe that's something that is useful sometimes, but I choose the redirect to URL. And so we need the actual URL of the thank you page. I have created a thank you page before, just that it's ready for me. I'm gonna copy the address, and that's it. So this is now defined, and I'm going to save my work. Now, oops, that's something I defined. So this is just a demo of the website, the WordPress installation, the way it looks like when you install WordPress the first time. Okay, and I just added this ribbon, and well, it's not working because I didn't activate it yet. So let me go back to the Thrive leads. And this is my lead group and my ribbon. And you see they have the option to choose if you want to display it on desktop and or on mobile. So I'm going to say yes for desktop. And yeah, that should do it. And here we have the ribbon that I've just defined with my updated color. And if I click here, I get this form. Of course, you have the flexibility to customize it completely. Let's take a look at other options that are interesting. And the one that I really, let me add another one. So I want to add a slide in. Okay, so I will not try to explain with word what slide in is. You will see it in a minute. It's coming up. Right, let me take something that is going to show easily. Just gonna take that one. So a slide in is actually something that slides from the side. You can say if it will go where it will slide in from. I really like the right side, the right, the bottom right corner. And the idea is the same, like the opt-in that we have added before. There is, you connect it to the service and you define what's going to happen after people opt in. But the look is different. So yeah, again, I did not remember to activate it. So let me activate it. And oops, ha. Okay, it did come from the side, but I probably did not define that. Let me see what I've missed. I said bottom right. Okay, something is not right. I don't want to waste too much time. Let me show you how it works on a live website that I have built a few years ago. Also, we'll show you. Okay, this one we have set it up to come in here. So we have set it up to come in after, I think, 10 seconds. So when someone is on the website after 10 seconds, they have this slide in. And actually, it's not even an opt-in. It's calling people, prompting people to schedule a meeting. So it's really cool in the sense that you can use it not only for opt-in, but I just want to show you what you can do with that. And then the last option that I will show you is the Lightbox. This is, a lot of people hate Lightbox, but they're very effective in capturing leads. So, okay, again, I will take a template. I'll just take something simple. The important part here when you use Lightbox is to define when they load up. So you can have them show when people just arrive to the site, but there's a lot of other options. Very typical is to show when the user is about to exit the page. So that's what I'm going to take here. This option is not applicable to mobile devices because it's just mobile devices cannot detect when people try to exit. So you can choose to say, well, if it's mobile device, just show this form after 10 seconds or whatever amount of time you want. Another important parameter here is how frequent you show that. So if somebody comes to your site and every page they go, they get a pop-up, this can be really annoying. So you can set it up that if they close the pop-up, the next time it's going to show up is going to be in 7 days. Just for the sake of the demo, I'm going to put it on 0, which means that it's going to show all the time. And you can also have some cool feature like just do a rotational so that you see what happens. And again, I'm going to make it active. So Now I have one, close that. And you see when I move the cursor out of the page, this is when this opt-in form opened. So of course, I mean, it needs some customization and work, but it's a great time to catch people before they leave. Maybe say, hey, wait, don't leave empty-handed. I have a gift for you. Do you want that? So let me see. So that's about the lead magnet, the opt-in forms. Of course, a lot can be said about creating landing pages. I'm not going to go into that today, but landing pages have their purpose, where you promote a very, very specific lead magnet, and then you can drive traffic from Facebook or from any other social media or platform, or you can send an email to a list. If you already have a list, bring people to a very, very specific page that promotes one thing. Yeah, and this is a topic for another presentation. So the next step, okay, let's go back to my presentation. So we talked about that. We talked about that. So the thank you page, again, we talked about it before a little bit. Don't waste this space. Again, we're not going to go into it too much today, but at least put a very detailed thank you letter telling people how they can help you, you can help them, and maybe offer a free consultation or a product that you sell. If you want to up your game, adding a video to the thank you page is a great way to connect with your audience. The video you can introduce yourself, you can introduce your company, your services, and do the same thing. Offer people a free consultation or to buy a product or a service that you offer. And then the download page. This is where you would host, if you offer a PDF report of some sort, this would be the place to keep for people to direct people to, so that they can download the lead magnet. So one thing that I want to say about these pages is that it is really recommended to hide these pages from the web, so that people can't just Google something and end up getting to your download page directly. So the way to do that is there are different ways to do that, but I have installed a plugin that I install anyway on all websites, which is the Yoast SEO. It's a plugin that helps with search engine optimization. And when you have that, any page on your site gets a new tab. When you edit the page in WordPress, you get this Yoast SEO tab, and the setting or the advanced tab allows you to say no to the question, allow search engine to show this page in search results. So I really, and so when you set no, you can save that, of course, and this would make sure that people don't get your PDF file as a search result, or your download page as a search result. So that's something technical that you don't want to miss. Okay, so this completes my presentation for today, and I just want to, before we go to, one important thing, of course, is to test. I want to talk about a program that I offer. If you need help and you want someone to help, and if you want me to help, I have created this program. It's called List Building Breakthrough Program. And what it includes is two parts. One is the support that you need to discover and create the perfect lead magnet for your market. So we give you a lead magnet workbook to help you prepare, and then we have a strategy, one-on-one coaching session to brainstorm ideas for your lead magnet, and then a follow-up session to finalize the idea. The creation of the actual lead magnet is not included, although if you need resources and someone that will help you do that, I can always send you there. And then it includes setting up all the lead capture mechanism. So installing the Thrive tools, and it includes the license for the Thrive tools, which we have an agency license. So we are happy to install that as a bonus. And create the thank you page and exit pop-up for the opt-in, and integrate it with your email marketing system. It does not have to be ActiveCampaign. It can be any of the system that is listed here. And usually the cost for this program is $695. But for you, and if you sign up by the end of tomorrow midnight, it is only $395. So this is almost the cost of what the Thrive tools will cost you if you go and purchase them directly for Thrive Themes. So it makes a lot of sense financially. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you. If you have any question, go ahead and ask, and I will be here to answer your questions. So let me know. No questions? Well, I will stay here for a while, and you can let me know if you have a question. So meanwhile, I'll thank you very much for being here with me tonight, and hope you learned something. The recording will be sent as soon as it's ready. We're using Zoom, so Zoom prepares the recording. And I did remember to record this time, so yeah.